Throws from Radio. In this video, I'm going to be demonstrating our studio vocal series Laurie, featuring the majestic Laurie Ann Haus. One of the really unique aspects about Laurie is that she's both classically trained, but she also has that natural ability to improvise. And commonly when you work with classically trained people, it can be hard sometimes for them to improvise, but Laurie is really the best of both worlds. And another incredible feat to her talent is really the wide amount of genres that she covers. She can literally sing most things you ask her to do. So with the purpose of this library, we sort of had to figure out, okay, what works best for that cinematic, motion picturesque type of vocals. And we identified two styles of singing that Laurie really masters. The one is a more soft, ethereal, Celtic, Gaelic style of singing. And the other one is a more Eastern European, Balkan style of singing, with some aspects from the Middle East as well. Just awesome and very, very different. One is more soft and more emotional, and the other one is really strong and powerful and sits really well in epic music and so forth. But yeah, let's get right into it. You may notice here I got a couple of legato patches loaded. We have another video where I'm demonstrating them in depth. But let me just quickly demonstrate the Balcan legato here. And again, watch the other video if you want to see more about it. But this is utilizing our new Flex Legato that allows you to create changing vowels on the legato transition. So let me play a melody here, and I'll do it both for O, A, and A. So you're going to hear that she starts and ends on O and A and A-like sound. But in between, when you go in the transition, the note transition, she's going to change. So yeah, just check it out here. So as you can probably hear, there's that natural change in it. But let's try to get into the core articulations here. Let's start out by playing the normal marcatos. So let me just try to play all of them so you can hear all different words and all that stuff. And obviously we also have our phrase sequencer down here where you can create any kind of sentence structure you want. But let me just play them independently here. So these are very standard marcatos, and again here you have a word sequencer down here if you want to create very elaborate structures here. You can also randomize and all that, so it'll create different sentences as you play through the whole thing. Let me also demonstrate here our Balcan marcatos as well. So these are different. These are based around the concept of alternating the pitch while she's singing. So instead of having a more static sound like you just heard, these are going to be more alternating, have more life in them. And it's simply just to try something new. One thing we realized with vocals and sampling them is that if you do it completely static, you get very static results. And when you work with a singer as talented as Laurie, it's really about trying to push it, create new things. So this is one of our new articulations called Balcan marcatos. So the concept for these is really to start and end on the same note. So whatever you play on your keyboard is going to be static, but as she transitions into the marcato, she's going to alternate the note and then she's going to land on it again. And it really works great in compositions if you want more life in it. Let me actually demonstrate that quickly here. If you notice down here, we've got key switches, so you can switch in real time, or you can use our word sequencer here. But in this one, I'm just going to play them in real time. And I'm just going to combine a couple of different vowels here and just check out how alive it actually sounds when you start combining them. And once you baptize that into a mix, it's all sweet and it really works. And you can just hear her sing. It's not, and I think it's just a problem with vocal libraries. You get that normal static kind of sound. And speaking of that, let me try to demonstrate some of the sustains. So we actually have 3 different types of sustains in the library. We have Celtic Sustains, then we have sustains with vibrato, and then we have sort of more classical non-vibrato sustains as well. So obviously one has a lot more life than the other one. We also have here a more static normal sustain as well. Another super cool aspect about the library is that you probably noticed up here on some of the articulations, if you're familiar with some of our other libraries, these marcatos actually completely one-to-one with our Lacrimosa Epic Choir, that's our 200-person choir, and our VAP Imperium choirs as well. And we also did that for Multi-Vowels. So right now, let me try to play just a little bit with the Lacrimosa choir here, and then I'll do the same thing with Laurie as well. So you can actually sing exactly the same articulations, and it just makes it super compatible. So you can actually work with the 200-person choir, and then you can work with Laurie as well as a solo singer. A whole other dimension to this library is the fact that we have over 2,700 phrases as well. So in essence, we decided to take that concept of Celtic Gaelic style and Balkan Middle Eastern styles and just deep sample that on a phrase level as well. Let me play some phrases here.
I can be away,
And you may have noticed that we got a couple of different colors here as well. The red one here allows you to choose whatever articulation you want inside of the bank. The green one allows you to alternate your pitch. And then as you may notice, we also have the Time Machine Pro activated here, meaning that if you use your pitch bender, you can alternate the time of her singing. Let me try to demonstrate that. Let me first do the pitch. You're going to see me here alternate the pitch of the same phrase. And then afterwards, I'm going to show you how you can time manipulate in real time, meaning that you can both get her to sing faster, slower, and you can do it all in real time. So you can start really fast and then get slow inside of a singular phrase. So let me do the pitch first here and then the time manipulation. So the combination between the pitch control, the fact you can control all the patches here, and the ability to time manipulate in real time really gives you a lot more range in terms of utilizing the phrases as well. Let me play some other phrases here. Let's try the straight chants here. This is a little more classical in a sort of normal Western sense. So those just sit really well in like classical compositions. Let me also try another one here. These are more low and slow and sort of darker in them as well. A little more alto Balkan, if you will. Let me try to play a phrase here, and then let me also try to keep an eye here on the pitch bender, and let me try to do some time manipulation on it as well. So you probably noticed they went really quick and then it sort of slowed down. That's the awesome thing. You can really sculpt with the pitch bender and make it sit in your composition as well. Let me also demonstrate here our soft Middle Eastern articulation. This is again Balkan / Middle Eastern. Just awesome and really beautiful intonation and ornaments on the vocals. And I happen to love those things. They sit so well, like in epic stuff as well. This next one here, the deep vocals, is a little more nasal sounding. Let me play a few of them here. A little more sort of internal sounding, if you will. And let me wrap it up here with the Balcan Belting, which is one of my favorite patches. One of the great things about Laurie and her quality as a singer is that she can really let go. If you've ever worked with singers, a lot of them have a hard time sometimes letting go. They're classically trained. There's a certain range they're comfortable in, and there's a certain range they're uncomfortable going into. But with Laurie, she's really good at breaking those grounds, and it's one of the things that makes her really versatile and perfect to work with. And again, I highly encourage anyone here that likes the library and utilize the library to reach out to Laurie. We have the contact info on the webpage under the product here. And really work with her at a personal basis. I'm going to continue doing it. The library here is great as a source of inspiration, and if you can make a full, beautiful piece of music, that's awesome as well. But try to sometimes work with the real singers, and that's not just for singers, it's all for instrumentalists and soloists of any kind. They just bring something else to the table, and that something else is exactly how I'm going to wrap it up here. Check out this phrase with Laurie, really, really belting it.